Hey family, and welcome back to our channel, our safe space. But today we need to get out of that safe space to talk about reality. This video is not an ASMR video, and if this video makes you uncomfortable, then I can guarantee you are not a minority. You are probably white and you are probably privileged. And although your feelings, as I always say, are valid, you need to accept that uncomfortable feeling and do something about it. You need to move on, and we need to do something to help. You see, I grew up in, I am still living in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is known for its racism. It simply is. I live out in the middle of nowhere. Johnstown is full of racists. Every year on Martin Luther King Day, we have a man in a pickup truck driving around with a black man with a noose around his neck, dragging on the back of his truck, basically mocking the murder of Martin Luther King. And growing up, my grandfather personally taught me to hate the coloreds. So racism was taught in my family. And if it wasn't for my father to unteach me that, and still having that inside me years and years and years ago, you know, when does it end and when does it change? And I am all for educating. I am all for not insulting and not going after somebody, but instead to educate. And right now, we need, as white people with privilege, to educate those who are taught that racism. Because I look at my little babies, Odin and Satori, who go to school with, you know, black kids and everything else, and they simply play. They don't look at each other for the color of their skin. They look at each other by, hey, you want to share this boat? You want to, you know, play with these blocks or play in the sand? They're not looking at someone and saying, you're black. I'm 7 years old and I don't want to play with you because you're black. No, that's not reality. But what the reality is what is going on in the world right now with George Floyd. A man who was murdered brutally. He suffocated for 8 to 9 minutes simply because of the color of his own skin. And that's the reality. You know, what's interesting about racism is it's very, very simple, yet it's very complex. The simplicity of it is that literally a race is hating another race because of what they look like. They're just looking visually at somebody and judging them for that. Some people say it's a cultural issue. No, it's not. We're all different as humans. Even, you know, white people in general all have different, you know, preferences or different music that they like and this and that. The point I'm trying to make is that it's too late. It's too late to ignore what's going on. And I wanted to come on here and address this to you and explain something to you. That those of you who say all lives matter, of course there's a fucking lawnmower. Those of you who say, all lives matter, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. It's not that. Because let me tell you that all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And those of you who are saying, oh, but what about the cops who are being, you know, beaten and tested right now and this and that? No. And what about all of the riots where people were burning down big corporations like Target who don't give a fuck about you in the first place? Let me tell you that material things such as, let's see, I've got props around here for days, like makeup and props and the clothes that I'm wearing, you see, is interesting because they can be replaced. But, you know, minorities and George Floyd, who was brutally murdered, he can't come back. He can't be replaced. Black lives can't be replaced. And as a white person, again, as I mentioned, who grew up, you know, being taught to hate the colors and think that we are the superior race, as, you know, you may have or have not seen or heard in the past, it's not real. It's not true. It's not. Oh my God, the cheesiest sayings are so true. Like, we all bleed red. You know what I mean? It's just, that's just the reality. But to say that all lives matter is ignorance. And I don't want anything to do with that. I, as a white woman, am privileged. Right now, although I'm irritated over some stupid fucking lawnmower, there are people dying right now because of the color of their skin. And that's my privilege talking. Oh, I'm irritated over the fucking lawnmower. But yet there are, you know, little children whose parents were murdered, you know, just because they go home, where's daddy, where's mommy? And their parents have to tell them, if they're still alive, hey, no, daddy was shot to death because, you know, someone mistaken him for bad because of his skin color. I might be rambling on because it's really hard for me to speak these words, because I don't know what, you know, any black lives go through, because I am white and I accept my privilege, as uncomfortable as it is. And here's what we can do as privileged people. We can be allies, and there's multiple things we can do to help the Black Lives Matter movement, because Black Lives Matter. It's that simple. I'm so fucking tired of hearing on the internet that no, all lives matter, cops' lives matter, my life matters, what about me, what about my things? It's not fucking about your material things. If you were to brutally be murdered for the color of your own skin, would you fucking care about your stupid ass fucking car to bring with you to heaven or hell? Does that fucking matter? No, that's not what you're thinking about. Black lives are being fucking murdered for no reason, and it's too much at this point. Someone said on my comments section today that it's too late. It's too late to be silent. My silence and your silence at this point is deadly, and we need to rise up. And although I don't know everything that Black lives go through, and people who are dying and everything else and fighting and this and that, I can stand by them, and so can you. And we can help. We can educate ourselves. We can use our voice. I have a platform of over 1 million family members. I'm here to tell you that I stand with you, and I will do what it takes. I stated on Twitter that I will match any donation, and so far I've donated $460 to the Minneapolis Fund. And I will post down below. We can sign petitions. We can be there emotionally, physically. There are so much things that we as white people with privilege can do to help those who are being murdered for no goddamn fucking reason. So with that being said, please check my description box down below. Please accept your uncomfortable feelings and move on. There are bigger things we need to worry about. Please accept that material things can be replaced. Those of you who are saying, my lives are in danger right now because there are rioters and this and that, educate yourself and realize that is not the protesters doing this. There are certain, organizations or entities that intentionally bring out people who destroy something peaceful and something moving because they want you to follow the wrong reasons and the wrong people. I may have stated in this video or labeled things wrong or this and that. I am not perfect, but I am here to let you know that I can educate myself, we can educate others, and we can be allies. We can do our best to change. It is time to change. There is no more time. The time is up. You know, racism has not gotten better like people think. It just hasn't been reported. It never fucking gets reported. How many people in Black lives have died this year alone in 2020 because of the color of their skin? So please, family, with that being said, check my description box. Let's make a change. I want all of you to know I am here for you. I hear you, I see you, I feel you, and I'm with you. Okay, so I love you with all of my person. if there's anything I left out, because there's probably a ton of fucking things I left out in this video, educate each other in the comments. Please, we can make a change. We can make a change. If I can change, you can change. If I can educate myself, I guarantee you can educate yourself. Stand for the right reasons. Stand for Black lives and understand Black Lives Matter. I love you, family. Peep my description box and let's make a change.